And we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another session of Riding the Bear. This session is brought to you by the Skylabs Inventor Ecosystem. My name is Ryan, and I'm so glad to be your host today. As we're getting started, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section, letting me know who is with us live right now. We know we have Joseph was with us, Wanda, Carl, Crypto Dread. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you guys are here. Now, in the last year, we had over 16,000 crypto projects launched. Now, how is it possible to find, research, and manage all of these projects? Now, that is exactly what the Vetter ecosystem is all about. We utilize crowdsourcing to support people in not only finding these projects, but finding great projects, avoiding sketchy projects, and what to look for when we do these types of things. We utilize the crowdsource model because that actually supports people in saving time, energy, and money. So instead of you doing all the work to finding these projects by yourself, you're able to leverage other people's knowledge and experience. And that's a beautiful thing about our community. People from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different experience levels, all working together for the common vision to help each other win. Now, for the last 6 months, we have recorded over 100 live sessions just like this. And again, where we support the community in navigating the CrowdX Calendar, looking for 2x to 100x crypto gems, and also avoiding questionable projects. And we're going to do a handful of those things today, looking at the CrowdX Calendar. But we're also going to talk about some trading view or charting tips and tricks. That was something that someone had asked to take a look at last week. Now, before we jump into the calendar, I did want to say there have been some pretty cool projects launching lately. Wanted to give some updates on those. And if you didn't notice what I just did, I was actually on the dashboard there. And let me just go back just briefly. So this is the Vetter board. This is our dashboard. This is just a quick snapshot of all the things that's built into this platform. There's so much built in that literally we could spend hours talking about everything that's here. But right here, there's a gains and tips section. When you click this, it takes you to a list of the gains that we've recorded. So these are projects that were added to our calendar, and these are the recorded gains. Here we have a 2.8x, we have a 23x, 8.7x, 1.3x, 5x, 1.1x, 3.2x, 2.1x, 8.8x, 3.5x. There's just a handful of the projects that have been launching lately. Now, one of the things that you'll notice right away is there's something called VAL. VAHL. That stands for the Vetter Audited Highest Low. Now, you may be really familiar with all-time high, the ATH. That's what a lot of projects use, and that's what they brag and boast about, saying that they had a 5x for their all-time high. But let's be real. Let's be real. How many people actually were able to sell at the top? And how long was it at a 5x? Was it there for just a second? Was it there for a couple hours? How do we know? And so what we're doing, one of the ways that we're innovating in the crypto space is by having a terminology and having a set rule and standard called the VAL, Vetter Audited Highest Low. And this means that people who got into this project had adequate time to sell at a 2.8x. Not just a fraction of a second, not just a minute, but actually able to sell in between a 2.48x up to a 3.27x for over an hour. Okay, so they had plenty of time to sell, and you can just look at these. And so one of the things that I would invite you to do, I had the opportunity to really be plugged into the auditing side for the last, half a good portion of this year. And one of the things that this has really supported me in doing, it's changed my vibration. When you see all of these projects, literally hundreds of projects with hundreds of gains and hundreds of significant gains, it can change your perspective and change your vibration. And maybe shifting from a place of, we're in a bear market, and woe is me, in a place of lack and scarcity, to an abundance mindset, gratitude, being grateful that you're a part of this community, being grateful that you're a part of this community at this particular time in life. I mean, that's something amazing to be thankful and grateful for. Okay, recognizing that, not being discouraged of, I missed this, but recognizing, wow, there's opportunities all around. How can I best utilize this community to find these opportunities? Whether that be having conversations in Discord, whether that be having conversations in Telegram, whether it be having conversations with your friends or your business partners, your colleagues, hopping in on calls like this, where we're sharing ideas and sharing the possibility of what this platform is all about. So I just wanted to start the call off by showcasing that because that's just, like I said, absolutely phenomenal to see that. And it gets better. You can actually see right here, there's also recent gains. Now these are users who are getting gains on the platform. And so these are projects that have been on the platform. So, this is a project that did a 2x. This project was a 3x. Here we have a 4x, a 5x, a 4x. And all of these projects are users utilizing the platform and getting gains and recording those gains on the platform. So again, I invite you to definitely check out that section. You can find it, like I said, right here from the Vetter board, from the dashboard, the section right here. You just click expand and you're able to sift and sort up here. Recent vals, recent gains, gains and tips, recent tips, top games, and top tips. So something really, really cool to do. Like I said, it can provide some inspiration for that. So one of the things we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be looking at some projects, of course, but we're also going to be looking at some tips and tricks for charting. And I do invite you, if you got into any projects this week, since the last time we spoke, go ahead and drop your gains in chat. Let's celebrate as a team, as a community, and give you a attaboy or attagirl for capitalizing on some of these projects that are on the platform. Now, if you're a brand spanking new to this community and you're watching this right now and you're like, I have no clue what this is or what this is about, I do invite you to go and visit vetter.ai. There you're going to be able to learn more about the ecosystem, how we're getting the results that we're getting, and why this is so significant both in the short run and in the long run, and why there's so many people excited about what we're doing here in the crypto space. Now this right here is the CrowdX Calendar, and one of the things that you can do, you can sift and sort based on a variety of things. Okay, you can sift and sort with the network, meaning if you only want to find projects that are on the Ethereum network, okay, maybe you want to find projects that are launching off a specific launch pad, maybe you want to find projects that are only gaming projects or rewards or utility. You're able to sift and sort that way. You're even able to sift and sort via private sale, pre-sale, fair launches, or IDOs. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff there. You're also able to sort based on names. So for example, maybe there's a project that someone's added to the calendar, but you just don't remember what day it's on. You could type in the name of the project here, and it's going to sift and sort. You can also search based on scouts, which is pretty cool. And so one of the scouts that we're going to look at today, her name is Loves Crypto. And she had actually posted 2 projects last week. One I did not see in time for us to go over it, and it actually did really well. Let's just go ahead and pull up the Telegram here. I posted this last night, so let's see here if we can find it real quick. Right here. Yeah, so this project was Ember, and Ember ended up doing a 8.7x up to a 9x, which means you had over an hour to swap out between an 8.7x and a 9x. And so, hey, like I said, I missed this. She had sent me a message, or she had tagged me in a section that I don't often check, and so we did not get to cover it last week. But that's the beauty. There are opportunities all around. And so one of the things I thought I'd do today, she did mention that there was a project that she wanted us to take a look at. And we'll look at that. But I also saw there was another project getting close to launching. And I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and take a look. So no one else has dropped any projects they want to take a look at. So these are the ones that we're going to do a look into. Okay, but again, this is Loves Crypto. And we're going to take a look at... Now it says it is an NFT, so we'll actually get to verify if it's. Actually, I don't think that was a project I wanted to look at a minute ago. Let's see here. Oh no, it was Beast Protocol. There we go. This is a project I wanted to look at. All right, Beast Protocol. So it is a pre-sale or private sale. We'll get to see what it is. We're going to go ahead and do our standard approach on what it is we're looking for when we are jumping into projects, the first thing we want to do is we want to take a look at the website. So let's go ahead and take a look at the website. And the reason we're doing this, we're just getting a feel for what it is that we're getting. Whoa, that website. Let's see if I refresh it, if we get a little bit better. I don't think that's how they want the website to look. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about this. Well, maybe we'll just get to dive into. I don't know if it's my internet or if someone look up Beast Protocol in the calendar and let me know if the website comes up for you, because right now this is what I'm getting. Okay, this is what I'm getting. So, while I'm getting the answer on that, let's go ahead and check out their Telegram group. Like I said, I can't tell if the website's not working on my end, or if it's just if it's just the website itself. So, take a look at Telegram. Telegram has 146 members. Okay, kind of low numbers, but if they are real and hardcore members, that is not a bad thing. We have 55 pinned messages, which is great. Looks like we have an AMA here, which is awesome. So right now, right off the bat, we're able to find some information, and there's actually some pretty good, decent engagement considering the low numbers in the Telegram group. Here's another AMA. This is great. Okay, Joseph says website is the same for him. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that, brother. Which I don't know if that's problematic or not. It's definitely something to be mindful of. I mean, who doesn't recognize that the website's not functioning? But anyway, we do have a handful of AMAs here, which is that's encouraging. Encouraging to see. Oftentimes, you've seen us. We just scroll and scroll and scroll trying to find AMAs, and we don't find them. And here we are, finding a handful, which is great. So first pen message was May 12th. And let's just keep scrolling up to see how old the group is. But right now we're already at a couple months. So yeah, looks like May 12th is the first time this group was, at least the first recorded messages here. Okay. So we have what looks like an established group, and they're doing AMAs. Now I'm a little curious about this, only because I'm going to join the group. Let's just go ahead and join the group here and see what happens here. Tap to verify. So I'm curious about the number of users in the group because of the amount of AMAs that they've been doing. It just makes me a little curious about that. All right, so I made it to the group successfully. So with the amount of AMAs they've been doing, it just seems like they'd have a little bit, a few more members in this. It seems a little low. I do see XRP Priest in the house. He's with us live on YouTube, and he's also in this group as well. And so yeah, if you guys have started taking a look at this project, feel free to drop a couple sentences, what you like about the project, and maybe any concerns that you have, and we'll see if we can find the same thing, or find some answers as we're looking together. Okay. With 146 members, I would not believe that there are bots. That would just be tragic. That would be absolutely tragic. Now, one of the things that I did notice with Loves Crypto, her name is Emily, that the last project she did was Ember, and it was very low key. It was very under the radar, and it did massive. And it was because it had a loyal following, not a lot of hype, not a lot of excitement and engagement, which is great, almost like a stealth launch. It could fly under the radar. It doesn't allow people who have nefarious intent, and what I mean by that is just people who are not enrolled in the vision, okay? People who are consumed by greed or FOMO or, win this, win that kind of mentality. And, I think that's what led to some of its success. And so one of the things I will say is I don't know a lot about Loves Crypto. I don't know a lot about Emily. I haven't looked at a lot of her projects, but I'm starting to see a pattern just with two right now. Perhaps they are more community grassroots driven projects, and they don't tend to build up a lot of hype and nonsense leading into a launch. And so that's one of the things I'm just kind of making a note of. Okay, so go ahead and add this project to your volume of launches and write whatever notes are coming up for you. Okay, and so it's a pattern. What I'm saying is this is an observation. If we start looking at multiple projects from Emily from eLoves Crypto, and all of these projects consistently don't have very many members in their Telegram group leading into launch. However, the launches are successful. That, my friends, is called a clue. Okay, success leaves clues. Okay, and so that's something that I would want to write down. I want to document that, because then I would recognize that wherever Emily is fishing, whatever her pond is, whatever her strategies are for finding these projects, now we can start seeing the effectiveness of that. Okay, and so that's why we want to write this stuff down and jot down that information. Yes, I did see that, Joseph. I saw it on the website. I saw it on the half functioning website. That's it was on Avalanche. But let's go ahead and read what we do have. To someone's point, they said maybe they're doing some updates, which that's totally possible. So, seed and private sell rounds have filled. Brought to you by Fully Docs KYC dev team. It's not a speculative coin. Beast is being developed as a long-term investment which will bring value to the Avalanche network. Beast protocol will invest in staking and node-based projects for the investment fund, and holders of Beast will receive rewards from these investments. Minimum 80% APY staking, which is set up to be sustainable for 2 years, after which the fund will be the primary source of passive income for holders. A unique NFT collection will provide an additional layer of utility when paired with the fund. Subfund of BD. I don't know what BD is. Beast something maybe? BD. But anyway, subfund of BD Capital's Bank. I don't know what that BD's is. Okay, so that's what we got. We don't have a whole lot here. Let's take a look at the white paper. All right, so we have names and titles, no images as far as the team goes. Founded by a fully doxed and dedicated team, Beast Protocol is a group of like-minded, goal-driven individuals working together to build a legitimate business and unparalleled reputation in the cryptocurrency space. Advised by experienced developers and backed by a strong branding and marketing company, the team believes in standing firm on a foundation of core values and aims to bring the structural integrity of traditional finance to DeFi, specifically to the Avalanche blockchain. I like the so you may have heard me talk about continuity. I like the fact that, and this is a good example of, like, this is not like fancy. It's not like real cutesy, but like there's some intentionality and theme behind this white paper, and I would expect or hope to see the website, when they get it functioning and up and running again, that it would look similar. Meaning there's continuity and consistency between their ad pieces and in that. But now this looks really nice. It's really clean. It's really clear. They're not trying to do anything fancy, but like it's I guess it's not too flashy. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to use. It's not real flashy, but it's professional and it's engaging. It's not just a. I once saw a white paper that was just all white. And I don't know if it was an inside joke or not, but it was hard to read. Like I just got bored. But this is cool. I like the vibe and feel that it has. Oh, it looks like my. Oh, there we go. Now we're moving. Okay. Now I am kind of curious what we're going to find on Twitter. Just given the fact that given the fact of how small the Telegram is, curious what we're going to find in Twitter. And another thing, and again, this all comes down to volume of launches and KSP. Okay, so Twitter, we have 1,300 followers. and some decent engagement here. Now, one of the things that this particular scout may do also, they may search for projects that are in Discord, and so that could be that could be something as well, and that's worth noticing and finding when you're looking at projects, and looking at the scouts, meaning what's their source. So these particular projects that this scout looks for, they may not be really big on Telegram or utilizing Telegram. They just may be utilizing Discord. Personally, I found for my research, I enjoy looking at Telegram just a little bit easier, and it's not as I don't have to have as many windows and tabs open for my laptop to struggle. All right, so let's go back to the Telegram group here. Yeah, I was curious about, right now I haven't necessarily seen anything specifically about them being doxxed, aside from them just saying that they're doxxed. So I'd be curious about that. Audit. Okay, so this person asked, nice initial audit. Launch date. I don't see. Oh, here's the audit. Here we go. Jackie, that's a great question. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. When we make the transition from looking at this project to looking at some chart stuff, we'll make that transition on looking at scouts and stuff like that. Okay, so this audit was done by Interfi. So I'm just wondering if there's any prior projects. Didn't find anything there. So the white paper did have the name and stuff, but it didn't really share who they were, necessarily what they were up to. It just shared basically about the whole team, just a paragraph about the whole team and stuff. So I'd be curious to know who they are, what they're up to, what they're bringing to the table. If we were to go back here, we're to go back to the white paper. That is one of the things I'm missing, and let me just look and double check. Maybe I looked over it, but right now, this doesn't really tell us much about these guys, their experience, what they've done, why they're in the role, why they or what they're bringing to the table. So I'm a little curious about that. Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious about. Um, so I saw two places where it mentioned that the team was doxxed, but right now, we could we could throw a page together with all of our profile icons and have our names, and we could call us docs based on what's going on here. So that's a little strange, a little strange. Wonder if there's KYC. Let's see what this says. I mean, again, don't tell me, show me. So one of my mentors, he always said, don't tell me, show me. And so instead of just saying, fully doxed and KYC dev team, just show oh, here's where's the link that shows that they're doxed and KYC. Hey, what where is that? Right now, I don't get that. And this person also asked, who did y'all's KYC? There's no answer. And it doesn't look like, I mean, I'm not saying it was intentionally ignored, but, this guy responded to this question, but didn't respond to this question. There's plenty of time to respond. It's 9 minutes. So, yeah, something to be mindful of. So that would be a good question to ask. If you're looking into this, like, okay, well, hey, what is your background? What is your experience? Maybe even what's your age? What's your prior projects? What sector are you coming from? Is this just a little hobby that you're doing on the weekend, or is this a big deal? Like, is this your life's work right now? Those questions are important. That can support you. And again, we're doing these questions in two ways. One way, we're eliminating the possibility as much as we can to prevent any shenanigans. Okay, meaning if we ask good questions and they have good answers, there's a level of legitimacy that perhaps they're proving there. And the second thing is, it also creates a possibility that this project could be more than just a short-term pump. Okay? A legitimate team that's fully doxed, it's transparent, in-house dev team. We're now stacking probabilities that the fact that this project could last more than 24 hours. It could last more than 7 days. It could last more than 30 days. Okay? And so there's like two phases of this question. The first phase is like, let's prove that it's a legit project. We're going to do our due diligence to see if it's a legit project. And then second phase is, what's the likelihood of this project actually lasting more than 24 hours or 7 days? After, auditing thousands of projects and looking at thousands of projects, and over the 16,000 projects that launched last year, there's only a handful that are still standing 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, a year later. It's just a fraction. Okay? And these types of questions can stack those probabilities of like, hey, can they last? How are they going to last? Okay? So that's the mentality. Once we figure out, hey, there's no shenanigans here. This looks like a legit team. Now the questions are more so like, how long is this gonna, what's the likelihood of this lasting, long term. So XR Priest did ask, what's going on at the website? It's getting an overhaul at the moment. Should be wrapped up by the end of the month. That's kind of bad timing for us. Nice. Okay, perfect. So I'd be curious about that. I'd be curious about that. One of the things I would also be curious about, I think this would be a great opportunity for anyone interested in this project. I think it'd be a great opportunity to create a dialogue with Elubs Crypto in Telegram. You'd post the project. You'd say, hey, we kind of talked about this on the one of the live sessions. What is it that you like about this project? What have you found? What have you realized? Okay. So let's go ahead and look at her scouting report here. Positives, fully docs and KYC team. I would want to see more details for the docs part in KYC. Weekly community updates and AMAs. I like that. I like the fact we saw that right away when we. Whoops, that's my wife's browser. I saw that right away when we hopped into their pinned messages. Right away you could see that there was an AMA. That's great. That's great. I love not having to search for that stuff. Dynamic minimum 80% APY staking. Now for some of the conversations that we've been having in our community, this minimum language, this guarantee, I don't know, how maybe they get away with it right now, maybe they don't in the long run. That's definitely something to consider. It also can consider how well you play this, or how long this opportunity presents itself. Unique NFT collection. Red flags, none noted, early stage project. Okay, so it's pretty early on. Okay, again, we had mentioned it is on Avalanche. Okay. Comments brought to you by a fully doxed KYC team on the Avalanche network. So this is what I just read a minute ago. Okay, and that's that. So that's that for that project. There's the biggest parts missing for me are the team aspect. What's going on with the team. I got kind of lost in it being fully doxed and KYC'd, but yet there's no information about that. Good stuff is the scout is a non-hype risk type scout. That is one of the things I do know about this scout. But we could say it's early, and that's why there's only 148 members. So I'd be curious, what the actual plan is, when they're going to be launching. But it says Presale hasn't opened up yet. We'll let everyone know soon whether or not we'll whitelist for it. Maybe just open Presale right before launch. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I don't think that, Jackie, I don't think that the pre-sale is going to be starting soon. Um, who knows? Um, let's see. Did I miss the pre-sale? No. Mid. Okay, so here we go. Here's an update right here for us. Mid to end of October. Okay, so the pre-sale is going to be mid to end of October. Okay, so I guess right now they're getting the website up and running. The next 2 weeks or so as we head into October, and then it'll be ready in time for the pre-sale. But man, it seems like having. I was really hoping that this was just a mistake on my part, but like it would be even if they had a one pager on the website where literally that's all they had, this logo right here, and then these links, and even said, hey, please excuse our mess, you can find all of our questions here, or you can find all your, please connect with us in Telegram, we'll get your questions answered. At least something to be in place, so we don't feel like, is this site working, is it my computer, what's going on, because this is like really crappy. Like, let's be real, like this is like, come on, this is like really. I mean, I suppose it's easy for me to say this sucks when I'm not a designer and web guy, but like, I don't know. I don't know. When I come to this website, I was a little disappointed and confused, and we don't want that. So that's the take on this project. This is Beast Protocol. Again, this is brought to us by eLubs Crypto, and so if you have any questions, definitely want to hit her up in Telegram and start a dialogue there and see what you guys can find out. Let me take a look at chat real quick as we make a transition into Jackie's question. Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce this name. Wajtek? I don't know if I pronounced that right. If someone knows how to pronounce that right, where I can, please type it in the chat. But that's a great question. He's asking, since it's a bear market, question inspired by previous sessions where you mentioned assessing projects by what callers they use, basically callers efficiency and combo. The question is about the pyramid hierarchy of what you would look at first. Marketing in general, how would you assess sentiment effect of token projects, etc.? Yeah, so here's my take on marketing. Okay, this is just my personal opinion. Having seen some things and having been a part of some things and watched some things and done some things, I think that the traditional marketing in crypto space is very is not sustainable. It's not scalable. It's not long term, and it's highly competitive. And I don't think it necessarily, that type does not necessarily bring in the kind of community members that you want to bring in. And so I haven't been able to take the time to figure out, what's going on. But I have seen projects that don't have a lot of hype do better because they have a solid base in community. So projects that do a stealth launch, for example, and I think a little bit has to do with, and again, I don't have the data to back this up. This is strictly my opinion, okay? But I think it has to do with, there's a core group of people who believe in the project, and that automatically makes the price go up. When that price goes up, it gets a hold and attention of other people, and there's some momentum that starts happening where sometimes these other projects It's this slippery slope when like one sell happens, these idiots lose their mind and start selling. And it creates this domino effect because you got the wrong type of people in your project. This is, again, my personal opinion. Okay. But I've seen projects and been a part of projects where it literally built from nothing to $1 million market cap with no money being spent on advertising, and the price is pumping because the people were enrolled in the vision, and the vision had nothing to do with the chart at that moment in time. The vision had to do with where they were going, what they were building, what the community was about. So I think projects that have the opportunity to create that and do that, such as Ember, for example. Let me pull up what Emily said yesterday about Ember. Let's see here. Let me find it. Oh, no replies. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I thought I saw something else. I thought I saw her say something else about it. Oh, another person chimed in. They just said the community is strong, no vesting for pre-sellers. They're holding because they believe it's going to be so much further. So that I think that has a big deal. Personally, my opinion, I think that has a really big deal. Oh, I did not pronounce your name right at all. I'm so sorry. Wojtek? Is that better? Wojtek? Is that close? Let me know if that's close. I think sometimes when I look at people's names, my brain panics, and then just something comes out of my mouth randomly. But Wojtek, 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 Wojtek. All right. So that's does that answer your question about the first thing I would look for is that's almost perfect. Hey, that's progress, guys. That's progress. So the first thing again I would look for is what type of community are they building, and like you said, like the conversation started, who are the call groups that they're doing, which I find really curious, interesting, curious about this particular group because they've done AMAs with different groups, so their member size is only 148. So I would be curious to connect with Emily on that, on why she feels the numbers are slow, and things like that. So with CARES 2, so we'll do a quick update on CARES 2. We did talk about this project, and they barely made a quote unquote profitable for the time frame, and so there's a handful of things to consider with this. One, V1 launched in a time where memes were still pumping like way, 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 way hard. And I think James, the owner, even admitted to part of their massive success early on was because of that. Personally, I looked at Care 2 as a long-term play. Now, if it was short-term, awesome. But like long-term, they're doing a lot of things right. Now, with the regulation sides and things like that I've been hearing from, the team and others, I don't know if... I know they're getting a lot of FaceTime with the American Cancer Society. They're getting a lot of FaceTime with being sponsored to that. So, like, that obviously, to me, brings a level of authenticity and trust. But does the market care? Does the market care? And I don't... I don't mean that to be a play on words. But seriously, I've found more projects as of late. The market caring about real utility has been low compared to the market caring about hype. And, there's a handful of projects that we looked at, great teams and great ideas, but the market didn't care at all about those projects. And that could be the season that we're in, the season of life that we're in, the season of crypto that we're in. Yeah, I was having this thought the other day, how is it that you have a project like Care Coin, or you have a project like Vetter or Skylabs, you have a project like some of these others that have been great projects, great teams, and things like that. Why is it that Bitcoin or Ethereum or the overall market actually has an impact? And the thought that I had, and this is totally from my opinion, okay, totally from my opinion. The thought that I had though is like all the idiots who ape in and risk it and over leverage are broke right now because they lost all their money. Either they never took profits, or they're in and out, they're not making money. All the people that feed the hype and excitement are probably down right now. And maybe that's why they're not getting in. And maybe these other bigger type investors are looking at other types of opportunities or holding right now because uncertainty in the market. But that's just my idea. Again, totally my opinion, my idea. But like, I was not around a year ago whenever the market was hopping like it was. I've just heard stories. It's like legends, a legend at this point. But that's kind of what I suspect. That the people that were throwing down money, I think that they're maybe licking their wounds right now because they were ignorant and reckless and over leveraging and thinking that this market was always going to do what it was doing a year ago, and having one BNB and turning into 5 and then 10 and then losing half of it because they're just risking it. That's my guess. That's my take. So to answer your question again, to sum it up, wrap it up with a bow, I think CARES 2 is a great project with a great team, and it's a timing issue on the market. I was a little unsure of how the fair launch was going to go. I would prefer not to have a fair launch. I didn't necessarily. I was not excited about the fair launch idea. Just the numbers speak that successful fair launches are the exception, not the rule, and you don't want to be an exception hunter. But one of the things I saw, I just figured that if a project was going to be successful, a fair launch is not going to determine its success or not. And I figured that fair CARES could pull it out. But so it's a long play at this point. So one of the things that Jackie asked, she asked about how do you follow, or how do you look at a scout's track record? Now I will say, we have the ranking system built in, and so this right here is for vettings. This color right here is for vettings. This right here is for voting, and this right here is a scout. Okay? The overall scout ranking, beige. And then you see these 4 blocks. And these 4 blocks represent 24-hour, 7-day, 30-day, and overall. Okay? So it's always keeping the score of the profitability of these projects. Okay? And it's based on whether the project was profitable or not. And to be profitable, it doesn't even necessarily. I mean, the profitability rankings on this are actually pretty liberal. You just get to have an hour above the pre-sale price for the 24-hour time frame. You get to have 24 hours above the pre-sale price for the 7-day time frame. You get to have 7 days above the pre-sale price for the 30-day time frame. And if you have one of these profitable, you get a profitable overall. Okay, so the ranking system is pretty liberal and set up in a way where it's not too crazy. Now, one of the things that right now, the way it's mapped out, you get to do a little bit of digging to find what is what the track record is. Okay, you get to do a little bit of digging, and so when you click on the user. Okay, we're at eLabs Crypto. You can scroll down here to My Projects. Okay, then you click over here on Scouted, and now you can see that there's 22 scouted projects, and you can click on Has Launched 9 projects. Okay, so you can see that there's 9 projects here that have launched. Okay, so right here we see Ember, and this was profitable on the daily. It had a 8.7x on the daily there. This project was not profitable. Okay, you can see right here this is profitable. So there's a couple different ways to look at this. And you can click on this and it can open up the project for you. But in the means of time, I'm just going to run over what we can see. Okay, but you can click on this and open up the project and look at it that way. but I'm showing you how you can just view it at a glance, so to speak. So right here we can see impact. This is 3, so it's a positive impact right now. For the day, this was a 776% gain, which is 8.7x. Okay, so for this project, this one launched back in March, and this one was not profitable on the daily, the week, or the month. So it was not profitable overall. Okay, this project, Parma, looks like it was profitable overall. Okay, for the day, we got a 1.5x. It was not profitable for the week or the month. Okay, so this was profitable. So right now we're up 1, down 1, up 1. Right here we're up 1. This was back in December. Okay, so we don't have we weren't doing the val, we weren't doing that type of stuff in December. Okay, but you can see based on this that it was profitable, at least one of the time frames. This was January. This was profitable on at least one of the time frames. Not profitable. Okay, -5. All projects are going to get either a +5 or a -5. Okay, here we go with Haka Ryu. This one was profitable. This is back in December. Another one back in December, profitable. Another one back in November, profitable. Okay, so that's how you're able to see at a glance how that works. Now, one of the things that we're working on, imagine being able to see something like, let's see here, what can I create? See if I can draw something out here. Oh, here we go. This would be good. There we go. Get my snipping tool here. So it would be pretty cool. One of the things that we're working towards having is, what if there were numbers 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, and then you're like a minus. Wouldn't it be cool if there were... So we'll do green here. Okay, guys, let me know if you can hear me still. My screen my internet's doing some weird stuff. So imagine, here's green. So they got a 2x, they got a 3x, and then they got a minus 1. Okay, and then another not profitable, and then profitable, and then not profitable. Oops, that was supposed to be not profitable. We'll just give them a profitable. There we go. And then not profitable. And then they had just an amazing streak here. We call this the hot streak, where they had a 2x, another 2x, and a 3x, and then another 2x. So I say all that to say that wouldn't it be awesome if when you go to the tracker page that the profile is right here on this side, and then this box right here is this right here, where you can see the track record. You just go to the tracker page and you can actually see the track record of the scouts that you're following or the scouts that you're studying, and that way you can see at a glance what their historical data is. Maybe you want to sift and sort via the last 10 projects, or you want to sift and sort via all-time results, or 24-hour results, 7-day results, 30-day results. Those are the types of things that the data that we're collecting will allow us to populate this, and which then ultimately supports all of us in recognizing trends and patterns. Okay. So that's one of the things that we're working on. The audit team is collecting all this data so then we can collect it and then deliver it in such a way where it helps everybody out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Dex Screener. So there are a handful of different charting softwares and tools out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions. We're going to transition now into some of the tips and tricks for charting tools. Okay, but feel free to drop it. And yeah, thank you guys for letting me know that I was still live. Every time my computer says that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm still here or not. So one of the things that you can do, and let's just go to let's go somewhere where we don't spend a lot of time anymore, which would be PooCoin. I don't really use PooCoin that much. PooCoin is really fast and active. Let's just do better. PooCoin is really fast and active for the launch of a project, and it's convenient. It's convenient to be able to buy and sell, swap out on PooCoin. That's about it for me. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of PooCoin. Actually, let me open up somewhere else. Let me open it up over here. I don't want to mess up. Is that the PooCoin.app? So I don't use PooCoin except right at a launch. For long-term stuff, I like using Dex Screener, and I'll go over some stuff on why that is here in a minute. Okay, so here's PooCoin. Let's go ahead and go full mode. Oh, that's why one of the things I don't like. Let's scroll down here. Open this up. Okay, so one of the things that you can do here is I like going full screen. But when you go full screen, you lose the menu over here of all the toolbar menu. Okay? And it's really annoying. And so what you can do is you can add things to your favorites. Okay? And so there's a favorite toolbar. All right? And right here is a favorite toolbar. You click this, it hides it, you click it, it adds it back. Okay, so this is your favorite toolbar. Let me open this up like that. There we go. All right, so here's our favorite toolbar. And now, instead of having to go back and forth with finding, full screen, not full screen, getting what we want, you can just add your tools over here on the favorite toolbar, and then every time you open up the chart, your favorites are right here. And when you go full screen, guess what? Your favorites are right there, and you have access to it. So some of the tools that I use on a regular basis are the date range tool. This tells you click to your starting point to the left and drag to the right, click it again, and it tells you this was 1 day and 13 hours. Okay, so for the auditing team, we use that to determine the first 24 hours, the 7 days, and the 30-day time frames for voting and things like that, and also for the val. And so that's a date range tool. The next tool that I add, and I'll just show you where these are located so you can see it. So the date range tool is going to be over here. So this is underneath. So you got the measure tool. You have the icons, and then you have forecast, or not forecast, but what's it called? There's no name for it. So, but you have date range. That's a date range. Next one is forecast. Okay, both of those are in there. So for forecast, that's how I determine some of the gains. Okay, so let's say that you bought this low right here. You bought the dip. And right here, that's 10.8%. Okay? So that's the forecast tool. And you can find that again right above the icons. There's forecast and date range. Okay, another one that I sometimes use, there's a box. Okay, you can customize it and you double click in there. Okay, you can change the color. You can change whether it's transparent or not. Okay, you can do all that stuff there. Another thing that I use is Alt-H. Okay, Alt-H gives you a horizontal line. Alt-V gives you a vertical line. If you don't want to use Alt V or H, you can go over here, and right here you can add horizontal line. You can add vertical line. Okay? A trend line is like kind of like a free-for-all. You know, you want to draw whatever angle, direction you want it to go. Now, if you hold Shift, it's going to go horizontal or vertical or at a 45. Okay, so that's how that works. If you don't hold Shift, it's full motion, 360 degrees. When we hold Shift, you know, it's in 45 increments. Okay. Another thing you could use is array, which would be this right here. Okay, so it's just going to show a line from this point to the right. So instead of this horizontal line that goes across your whole screen, it's going to show that spot to the right. Sometimes I use arrows if I want to point something out. And then one more thing. What was the last thing I was going to show? I don't remember. Oh, text. So you can do text right here. And there's your text. Okay. So those are the things that I have on my favorites bar. Okay. Now, what I like, so that's PooCoin. Again, to me, the benefit of PooCoin is the fact that it loads really quickly with so like with PooCoin, if the project had not launched yet, nothing would show up on the chart, but the chart pulls up. Okay, and I find that to be helpful. You can do your swaps right away there on PooCoin, and it also shows you where you buy and where your sell was. That's really cool. That's cool stuff. Like there'd be like a little circle down here. You know, if you bought in right here, it'd be a green circle, and it'd tell you bought in right there. And I think that's really cool. That's a nice little touch. So for launches, I think PooCoin is great. For long-term markups and things like that, I like Dex Screener. Dex Screener, it does not close your toolbars over here on the left, which I find to be super convenient. Dex Screener also, we're getting into some really technical stuff now. One of the differences between Dex Screener and Dex Tools, Dex Tools, you cannot draw anything over here. Dex Tools will force it to be the first candle. And sometimes I find that irritating. So I like the freedom and flexibility that Dex Screener offers. I like the fact that this is available to me anytime that I want, even though I still have my toolbar here, my favorite toolbar. You know, it is what it is. Personal preference. One of the downsides with Dex Screener is, I mean, I suppose it could have shifted from previously, but one of the things that I didn't like about it is it will not let you pull up the chart until liquidity has been added, and trading gets to be live. And so, you know, that's why with PooCoin I can kind of be ready and everything's ready to go already. And so that's why I use PooCoin at launch, and I use Dex Screener moving forward. Now here's something that's really cool about Dex Screener. Let's say that we've talked about this before. Let's say that you want to have alerts set up. Okay? Whether it's buy alerts or sell alerts. Okay? So let's say that you're in a launch and project just launched, and price is going to do what it's going to do, and you're looking, your target's right here. Okay? That's your target. Okay? And so what you can do is you can set a you can just draw a horizontal line here, whatever. You can get this price right here. Okay? When you double click that, It gives you the coordinates. This is the price. Okay. Now, this may take how long? We don't know. It could take a couple minutes. It could take a couple hours. It could take a couple days. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to set an alert. So you're not just sitting at your computer all day long, or you're not sitting on your phone all day long, unless you're into that kind of thing. And you can set an alert so it can notify you that you're getting close to your take profit. You're getting close to your zone. You wouldn't want to set it right at the spot unless it's a long-term play, and you're totally fine with you're totally fine and content that if price went up past it and then started going below, and you're like, hey, no big deal, But so this all comes down to you and your personal preference. Set it right at where you want to take the profit. Set it a little bit before you want to take the profit, whatever the case. Okay. So the way this works is, let's get out of this. Go back to there. So we take the coordinates here. And this is one of the things I really like about Dex Screener is right here, Telegram price alerts. You click that. It opens up a price alert bot. And right here, it says, let's see, create. Okay. So we're going to create a price alert. You click create. And it's asking you for the pair that you want to create a price alert for. You go back over here and you just copy this right here. Just copy the link, the URL here. Go back to Telegram, paste it in there. It says, okay, let's create an alert for Vetter token. And is this right? Please reply with yes or no. Yes, it's right. And then it says, okay, over 300, under whatever. Okay, so right now we want to go over this price right here. Okay, so we want to go over $, this price. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so now we have an alert created that whenever price goes over this line, we're going to get a notification. Let's say we want to do it the other direction. Let's say that we want to get a better entry. Maybe it launched and we're waiting for an entry that's 30% down. Maybe because of your volume of launches, you realize that that's a possibility. And that's how you play your game. So you go to Telegram, create price alert. You paste in the URL. Yes. We're going to do under this price right here. Double click. Get the price. Paste it in there. Is this yes? So now we have alerts. Okay, so we have alerts set up for over and under. Okay, one example was you're looking for your take profit, and maybe this example you're looking for your entry. Okay, so that's one of the things that I really, really like about Dex Screener. Another thing I find frustrating with PooCoin is on older projects or some projects, it doesn't show you like a history. I find that the history for the chart for the purchases are much better. Okay, I find the history from the charts is much better on Dex Screener. Like this, it stops. There's some kind of limit on the amount of information that it's recording, where with Dex Screener, there's a lot of information here. It just keeps loading and loading and loading and loading. I find that to be really helpful. I like that a lot. Okay. And so, again, this is all just personal preference stuff, but we went back 4 days here. We went back 4 days. We're over here, what's the date? Oh, it doesn't show the dates. This is all from today. It just stops. Okay. So let me look at this. Let me look at chat real quick. Joseph, I have not used that on Bogged, but I am curious. I know that at one point Pancake Swap was kind of doing that, and I never really looked much into it further. And so, yeah, looking into Bog, I think that'd be really cool. Do you have experience utilizing that, Joseph? And does it work well? Does it execute accurately and fast? And um, is it reliable? I guess is a question. I don't have experience with that, but I am very curious. Yeah, Telegram's doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different things in there. Kim asks, "Where's the alert show up?" It shows up in the same chat. Okay, so for example, for Carecoin, I was looking for a lower entry. Let's see. Let's see here. Um, right here, Carecoin. I created an alert for when Carecoin was under 0.1593. Okay, and that was at September 16th at 11:53. And then on September 17th at 9:49 a.m., I got a notification saying that it was under my price. So that's how that worked. So it's pretty cool. So all the messages happen in this. So the bot is built in here, and all your rules and settings are in here, and all the notifications go in here. So what you'd want to do is you want to make sure that you pin this, whether it be to the top of your Telegram or a special folder there in Telegram, so you always know where that's at. And to do that, you can go down here and you can create folders. And so I have all my Vetter chats in one folder. I have pre-sales, I have things that are launching, I have things that are active, and just some other groups here. But you'd want it to be pinned where you can always find it and have easy access to that. Okay, but really simple, really cool. Like I said, you just get a little notification saying it just looks like this. This is the message that gets sent out. Okay, and it even shows you, hey, you can click on Deck Screener right here. It takes you to the chart so you can see it. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious about that though. Now that you say that, Joseph, I'm curious to play around with it because, truthfully, so what Joseph is saying, and Joseph, correct me if I'm wrong, but with your statement, the orders, basically, if basically what Joseph is saying is with certain charting software, you have the potential to set this alert right here, and it would automatically buy for you or automatically sell for you. Okay. And yeah, I mean, if it can function and reliably do that, that's huge. That's massive because now you're not waiting. And what if you miss it? Now when it hits that line, you set the order and it's automatically gonna do what you set it to do, which would be really cool. Yes. So one of the things that I have with my pins, I have my Vetter conversation. I just have Vetter at the top, and then I have, Deck Screener is the next one. So, maybe you even have like a special folder for price alerts or the most important, however you want to do your Telegram management. But there's some pretty cool things that you can do that can set some things up and works really well. Oh, Joseph said left on PooCoin. Let's check it out, Joseph. Let's see. Left click. I don't know where you're telling me to left click though. He says left click and drag to go back in time. Uh, Joseph, I don't know necessarily know what you're meaning. I don't know if you mean on the chart or if you mean for the transactions. That is one of the limitations to being on live YouTube. Quality is much better, but sometimes the communication is a little off. Left click on the chart. Oh, like this? Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Was someone asking a question about that? I may have missed it. Yeah, so you just drag over to find, wherever you want to find. Yeah. Another thing that you can do, I don't have the answer to this one. This one can be finicky, but so right now we're on the hour chart for better. But you can go down here to the calendar, okay? And again, I don't know which chart it actually functions on. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So we're about to have a in-person experience, live, real time, whether this is effective or not. Vetter launched on the 19th, I believe. No, that's not right. Is it right? I don't know if it's right or not. We're gonna go on the 24th. Let's see if it works. Oh, it did work. And did they launch on the 19th? They did launch on the 19th. Okay, so that's how the calendar works too. So sometimes on really large charts, you can use this calendar here and it can take you to exactly where you want to go. Okay, so click right here. It takes you all the way back. Okay, so let's go back to here, the calendar. Let's go to October. Whoops, the time's just flying by. October 21st, and it takes us right there. So instead of having to scroll back and all that stuff, and that's super convenient. Also, if like you're on like a lower time frame, because like these are just hundreds of candles here, and what you can do, where are we at? June 19th. What we can do is we can go back here. Let's see if it will work on a lower time frame. Yep. So you click it and you just wait a minute or a couple seconds, and it should go back. Maybe. I'm not sure how long I'm going to wait for it. That may be why I may be confused about it. I think maybe the lower time frames either take longer than I'm willing to wait, or it doesn't just function. It functions fine with the hour, but right now we have a bit of a problem. Let's see what happens over here. So let's go to the 5 minute for Vetter, and then let's go over here. Let's try the exact same thing that we did. It's so interesting how like all of these companies are using TradingView, a TradingView feed, but they're all different. I find it kind of fascinating. So let's see if it works on Dex Screener. It may just be finicky with the lower time frames. 1 minute, 5 minute, things like that. Because right now it does not look like it's going to go back in time on Dex Screener. Nope. Oh, there we go. No? Yep. So Dex Screener did work, and PooCoin did not work. Okay, so it looks like on PooCoin, this little calendar works better on the higher time frames. On Dex Screener, it can work on all time frames. You just get to be patient. You just get to wait it out, wait till it works. So with that, today we looked at Beast Protocol. Definitely worth having a conversation with eLoves Crypto. We looked at how to look at a scout's track record and the results that they are getting, and where to find that information on the tracker page. And also we dove into some PooCoin and Dex Screener tips and tricks on how to use some of the functionality, how to use the favorites, use some of the tools, set some alerts and things like that. So I hope that this session was helpful. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off here? I know there is a bit of a delay, so it's all good. I will wait for that. Yeah, I personally, like I said, I personally like Dex Screener a lot. I just like the way it functions. That is until we have our own charting software, and then that'll be my new favorite. Yeah, there's just a lot of information on here. All right, Wojtek has a question. Hey, Jackie, you're absolutely welcome. Yeah, I hope this was helpful, guys. Yeah, some groups do have that. I don't know if it's necessarily a red flag. Um, that's a good question. You're gonna need a level of discernment. Okay, so it, I've never taken the time to actually do an audit on the contents of what's being posted in a group as far as can they use Bobby Bybot or whatever to create a lot of excitement and a lot of noise, which could flush out the fact that maybe there's some shenanigans going on. I think that's a valid question. Um, so I think that that's probably going to be different to every project. I think that, I think it's worth asking, hey, why is this on? Um, But if there's a way that you can, search the group and there's a way that you can get your questions answered, maybe it just creates some hype and excitement for them. We would get to look at one together, maybe even as a group. If you guys find one, Wojtek, if you find one, yeah, drop the platform link in Telegram and we can all take a look at it. When I say platform, I mean the DAP platform. Make sure you post this link, and but that way we can take a look at it and we can get a feel. Right now, I'm trying to answer your question based on something I'm not currently seeing in the moment, so it's a little bit challenging. But yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. I would say all of them are probably different, but sometimes you just walk into the Telegram group and you just feel like something's not right. How are all these buys happening, but no one's actually talking or being in here? Exactly. I thought that's where you were headed. I think it's just going to be dependent on. I think it's really going to be dependent on each project and getting a feel for what's really going on there. But I've had similar thoughts as you. There's nothing going on. Um, if there's nothing going on at all except just those in there, it's like, well, where is everybody? But yeah, it's always going to be dependent on the group itself. So with that, guys, hey, this is a great session, rocking and rolling. We answered some questions and hopefully you learned something new, something you can utilize and improve on. And Joseph, thank you for that recommendation. Bog Finance, I'm gonna take a look at that. I think it's worth playing around with if it can execute consistently and reliably. I think that's really great. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much, Brandy and Daryl and Jackie and Joseph, Wojtek. Appreciate you guys. I'll end like I always do. Life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this awesome community and us working together to make this a better space. So with that, I'll see you in Telegram. Bye for now.